Brands are currently paying roughly $5 million for a 30-second television ad spot, often to broadcast their message to an empty room. While the commercial plays, the viewer is often in the kitchen grabbing snacks. Legacy media sells advertisers on massive scale. During events like the NFL Super Bowl, networks report reach in the hundreds of millions, presenting these stadium-sized broadcasts as the peak of consumer exposure. But having a television on in the background is often just passive listenership. The viewer is talking to friends, scrolling on a phone, or standing in another room. The device is registered as active, but the human attention has already left the screen. When brands pay premium rates for household reach, they are often subsidizing minutes spent away from the screen. This disconnect turns an expensive ad spend into little more than background noise. Legacy networks are compounding this inefficiency by leaning into cultural sorting. They are actively choosing to broadcast polarizing messaging, which results in fracturing their own viewership. We saw this friction directly during recent Super Bowl halftime shows, featuring performers like Bad Bunny. These specific cultural flashpoints lead significant portions of the audience to tune out or actively reject the broadcast. A corporation intentionally alienating 30% of its customer base to send a cultural signal represents a massive business misstep. They are voluntarily shrinking their addressable market. Legacy media is overcharging its advertisers while systematically shrinking the very market it claims to reach. Instead of switching off their screens, this sorting audience is migrating toward the parallel economy. Independent organizations are now hosting highly produced direct competitor halftime shows. The metrics on these independent alternatives are substantial. Recent alternative broadcasts pulled in roughly 27 million viewers, with peak concurrent viewership crossing the 6 million mark. This chart compares legacy TV's household multiplier against independent media's verifiable metrics. Legacy assumes several people per screen, while independent media measures actual digital connections. This funnel shows the resulting conversion rates. Independent viewers search for specific content, engaged by active choice. An audience of 27 million intentional seekers offers a significantly higher conversion rate for a brand than a massive audience of passive background viewers. But the digital gold rush of independent media distribution faces an imminent existential legal threat. The distribution algorithms are under attack. Juries in Los Angeles and New Mexico recently ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions in civil penalties. The courts found these companies negligent, ruling that their distribution algorithms caused specific harm to minors. Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act historically shields platforms from liability for user content. If new rulings determine that platforms are liable for what their algorithms choose to promote, that legal shield disappears. The corporate reaction will be a defensive pivot. Tech giants will throttle independent creators, avoiding high-dollar negligence claims, favoring pre-approved legacy media instead. Relying on big tech for audience distribution leaves a creator vulnerable to these shifts. Once the algorithms are walled off, that connection can disappear overnight. To survive, creators and brands must immediately transition away from algorithmic dependency. You have to own your audience outright. This means funneling casual viewers off the big tech platforms and into gated, direct subscription communities, utilizing infrastructure like Rumble VIP or private servers. Once the audience is secured, the model shifts to integrating direct-to-consumer physical goods. Independent networks are already selling proprietary sleep aids and private label coffee brands directly to their most loyal followers. Selling physical products directly to an off-platform audience completely removes the gatekeepers. You no longer need a Silicon Valley algorithm to find your customers. The final stage of this economic capture moves the community out of the digital space and into the physical world. The development of independent, creator-owned coffee shops and private clubs serves as a proof of concept. These aren't digital experiments. They are physical anchor points for a loyal base. This creates a closed-loop ecosystem. It generates predictable revenue and is immune to corporate cancellation, standing in contrast to the inefficient attention model of legacy television. To survive the coming shift in media, brands must stop renting passive reach from gatekeepers and start building their own economic castles.